Alright guys, Epic here, and today I want to bring a 1.2 update. Ubisoft have recently released the full patch notes, so we're going to get to see exactly what's happening as of tomorrow, and I thought I'd summarise just exactly what is going to happen and the most important points. In the background, what you're going to see is me and my team take on a 6 to 8 man lobby of rogues. I'm not sure exactly how many, and in the second clip we'll be also playing them again, and we do very well, and I don't think one of us actually dies, which is great. Hope you enjoy the video, guys. If you do, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Peace. So guys, as 1.2 is right around the corner, I thought I'd bring some new information Ubisoft have mentioned today in their patch notes and summarise some information we already knew and I covered in my last video about the update. So some new information, now this is gameplay related, improved weapon blind fire and overall handling while in cover. Now I'm pretty happy with this perk because I don't think many people blind fire in this game, to be honest, and it's very helpful, and I think this may change PvP a little bit in the Dark Zone. Now one other change that I can see here from gameplay is gear score will now only take into account the equipped weapon with the highest gear score and discard the other two. This will prevent players from equipping low quality weapons to voluntarily reduce their gear score. Now I'm very happy with that because we all know that people were going to drop to lower quality weapons and go into the lower brackets and just wreak havoc. It was always going to do. People love doing that. I don't know why. I don't know how you get pleasure out of fighting against people who are far inferior to you, but people do. So I'm really glad that they've implemented that. Now there's an increased gear score requirement of Falcon Lost to better represent the difficulty. So hard mode gear score will now be 160, and challenge mode will actually be 180. I still think 180 is really low. I think you need to be at least 200. Although gear score doesn't make too much difference, I think 200 is a better understanding of the difficulty, because challenge mode is difficult, funny enough. Now in regards to weapons, the new weapons, I mentioned the 4 new weapons in my last video. So we got the new light machine gun, the new M199 pistol Centurion, we have the 12 shotgun, I think it's a Sega shotgun, I'm sorry I can't pronounce it, and the marksman rifle, the M1A Historian. Now someone did mention in the trailer that there was a different shotgun which looked like an AA-12, and Ubisoft have announced that it is in fact an AA-12 called the Showstopper. Now this will be implemented in the game with the update, however you won't be able to acquire it until the 1.3 update. I'm not sure why that's even relevant, why they would even put it in the game if you can't even use it, but hey, that's up to them, I guess. Now other changes to the game is the sealed cache. Now if I've not mentioned before, the sealed cache is something named and elite enemies will drop in the Dark Zone. Now, one thing I didn't know is there are 4 qualities of sealed cache that Ubisoft have announced. We have specialised, superior, high-end, and gear set. And if you're like me, you hear high-end and you hear gear set and you're like, yes, that's what I want. As I've mentioned before, I hope that it only takes up 1 space, because to be honest, 9 spaces in the Dark Zone isn't enough, and I really hope that they increase that as soon as possible. So really happy that they've implemented that. I like the idea of having different qualities of sealed cache. Now there are new assignments. There's the ISAC assignment, and these will be available to players level 30, and that will be every week. And these assignments will all players with vanity items. So I believe that's like, you know, your clothes and your shoes and all that sort of thing. So that's quite cool, and it'll give PvE players something to go for there. Now there are a lot of bug fixes, as you can imagine, in the game. I'll just go over a couple which are obviously I may have mentioned before, which everyone would like to hear, I guess. So reckless will be fixed, as you know. That's been overpowered since day 1. The gear talent itself would increase player damage resistance instead of decreasing it, so that's been fixed. Now the balanced gear talent is being fixed. As you probably know, it will remain active indefinitely after the weapon been shouldered, so your reticule would actually not get any bigger, so that's going to be changed. Now the brutal gear talent will also be fixed. Up until now the damage was multiplicative, if that's how you say it, I'm not great, instead of additive, so that's been changed. Now it'll be additive. So brutal will still be very good, but it's just not as good as it once was. If you're like me and you run 1 is none, then you'll know that it would jam sometimes when you were down to 1 bullet, which is really annoying. So apparently that's been fixed as well. So that's some of the real top sort of changes that I can see. There's loads of bug fixes. I believe the mobile cover out of wars has been fixed as well, but I know for a fact Triton Army will find a glitch for it. I know they will. And you know, I'm glad they do, because these things need to be changed. You know, they need to keep doing this so that people know, so Ubisoft know, and they can get it changed. Now, I'll run over some other bits and bobs that I've already spoke to you about before, but I just thought I'd run over them again with you. So we have the 4 new gear sets, which is Final Measure. Okay, we have Hunter's Faith, Lone Star, and Predator's Mark. From what I can tell, I like the idea of Lone Star. I think that's really cool. And I think Predator's Mark is also pretty cool, especially for assault rifles. But to be honest, assault rifles and LMGs, they're still not going to be viable against assault rifles. They need talents like the submachine guns do. To be honest, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to run. I'll probably run Final Measure of 2 pieces, because that's exotic damage resilience. So that's against sticky bombs and all that sort of stuff. You'll actually take 50% less damage, or you'll have 50% resilience against those. So really, really happy with that. Looking forward to the hijacks. Really glad that if you're being shot at, you can't actually hijack the extractions. And I think that's going to be priority in the dark zone. Also, when the helicopter has come in and you have extracted, you now have 60 seconds. As opposed to what I believe was, 30 seconds potentially? I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's now gone up to 60 seconds, so the extractions are a lot longer. You are going to have to hang around a lot more, which I'm not so happy about. I thought 30 seconds was enough, to be honest, but yeah, no, apparently that's being changed. And there is a lot of loot balancing coming into this next patch. I would go over it all, but I'll be here for an hour. So if you want to know what that loot balancing is, and you want to know exactly what level gear score you're looking to get from what particular missions, or from the Dark Zone, or from the incursions, then check out the link below with exactly, it has all that information and the full patch notes. Obviously, I can't give you the full patch notes. I'll give you the important parts that I think are the most important parts. So please check out the full patch notes below. I hope you're looking forward to the new update coming tomorrow, and I'll leave you with the rest of this gameplay. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next video, guys. Peace.
One down.
A rogue agent has been neutralized. Rogue agent down.